And here we go. Hi, everyone. My name is Mary. I'm manager in Black Screen AI School. And today we have our free webinar, iOS Developer. Today we will talk about the profession iOS developer, as I said, what skills needed, what tools we should learn, and we will talk a little bit about Swift. And tomorrow at 6 p.m. PST, we will make a little practice. We will show you coding in Xcode, so you can also join us and ask questions and participate. A little bit about our school, about Black Screen. So the school was founded in in California, and all the instructors are in USA and they working as a developers in American companies. So they have a really great experience. So they are ready to share the experience with you. And on all our courses, we teach our students from scratch. And our aim is to make our students to be ready to go to the market and to get their first job offer in IT sphere. We have our graduates review on our YouTube channel. So please join our YouTube, subscribe, and enjoy our short videos. And you can listen to stories from our graduates. Every story is really interesting and tells about the success and about the hard work they made. So here the company where our students are working. Please choose which one you like. And today, meet your instructor, Bylan. Please, you have the floor. Thank you.
Hey guys, my name is Wylan. I have been an iOS developer for on and off for 10 years. My job is to help you guys understand the iOS ecosystem, how to navigate it, how to handle all the rapid changes, how to get a job essentially, what it's like to get a job in this market. If you guys have any questions, I will always answer my Slack or my Telegram. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say, but let me see. Let me chat.
Just say me when next slide and I will make it.
Okay, second. Next slide. So Swift 6, I've been around since the inception of Swift. Back in the day, we used to have to use Objective-C, which was a lot more code involved, essentially, a lot more difficult. 2 files to a class. But with the introduction of Swift, it has made everything very streamlined. And arguably, Swift is one of the better languages out there, way better than Python, way better than JavaScript from my perspective. It's a lot faster. It's not as widely used. It's a lot more specialized, but it's really good at just whipping something up. Like whatever you guys think of, whatever app you guys think of, you can just make. It's really awesome. Next slide. Swift UI. It came out a couple years ago. It's highly used by a lot of different companies. It's declarative. So with Android, they copied Swift UI with Jetpack Compose. It's all pretty much the same thing, very declarative. You're kind of giving a lot of the UI side up to Apple. So there's still a lot of stuff you're going to want to do in regular Swift, especially if you have really unique and customizable apps that you're trying to build. However, Swift UI does make it really quick to do, I would say, a simpler layout, more table views, more all this stuff we'll get into, but it's very, very good. It's very quick as well. Next slide. AR and VR has been around for about 4 years now, maybe a little bit longer actually. 2018-ish. But it's came a long way. It's very fun to use, and it's a really good portfolio piece to add to your portfolio. If you have some sort of AR and VR type app, you don't need the Apple Vision to use it, of course. Makes it a lot more fun. But yeah, we'll get into that near the end. It's kind of more higher level type of Swift development. Next, you can do next slide. Next slide. Yeah, thank you. AI and machine learning. There's a big debate. Most people who do not understand code are going to say that ChatGPT, AI, machine learning is going to take your job. Reality is it's going to make you a much faster and better programmer if you learn how to use it right. So there's going to be less programmers, but better programmers. I wouldn't say it's necessarily taking your job. It's making you more powerful. You could do 3 times the amount of projects that you wanted to complete. So I came a long way. You know, in the beginning, I did not want to use AI and support it, but it is a very helpful tool and it helps you get a lot of apps done. Next slide. So Mac OS, Watch OS, tvOS, as soon as you understand Swift and object-oriented programming, you're going to be able to build stuff for the tvOS if you want, the Watch OS, Vision OS, all that type of stuff. We're going to focus on mobile because once you understand mobile and how to use Swift, if you want to go out and learn more programming and different sort like Android or whatever, it's going to make it extremely, I wouldn't say easy, but it's going to make it a lot more streamlined and you're already going to know the basics, you know, basic data types don't change between any of the programming languages, whether you're using Python or JavaScript. You could do the next slide. Xcode 15 is the newest stable version of Xcode. It's the IDE we will be using. You can, of course, use the beta version. I have both of them. There's a Xcode 16 beta, which does have a couple cool improvements. But for the lessons, we're going to be using Xcode 15 because most of the beta softwares do have a lot of bugs. And that will trying to decipher whether it's your problem or the IDE problem is can be kind of troubling. But so we're going to stick with the Xcode 15, which is the newest stable version of Xcode. Next slide. Playgrounds. Let me take a sip of this real quick. They've been around for a while. I use them mainly to, if I want to test one of my functions real quick, make sure it works before plugging it back into my project, I'll use Swift Playgrounds. We will use a lot of Swift Playgrounds, especially to learn the basics of creating functions and classes and structures as well. It's a very good and easy way to just slide right into learning about Swift. Next slide. For monetization, in-app purchases, there's a lot of different ways we're going to learn how to do it the old-fashioned way, which is create your own in-app controller, in-app purchase controller, but there's a lot of different ways to do that. You can import something called Revenue Cat, which helps with all your in-app purchases and subscriptions. And then App Store Dynamics, this is referring to App Store optimization. It's kind of like Google, how you want your app to show up first when people are searching for related keywords. We're going to show you a couple tips and tricks on how to make your app climb in the ranks. Next slide. So compliance and regulations and fragmentation. We are going to be doing So, oh yeah, so with all apps, if you're gonna use stuff like the camera or different messaging, different parts of the ecosystem, we're gonna have to, um, you're gonna have to let the user know that you're collecting data on them or using different parts of the iPhone. And that is going to, that's just what makes Apple a lot safer for consumers than other smartphone operating systems. So we're going to learn about all the policy regulations. And I'm sure if you guys are in Europe, I don't know if anyone there's in Europe, there's even different ones than we have here in the United States, but we'll get into how to look for those and how to overcome those. And then fragmentation, I believe that is referring to different operating systems. So if you are releasing an app and you want to reach more users, you might want to release it for iOS 14 and iOS 15 instead of the newest one, which will be iOS 18 coming out. But the newer OSs do have more features and stuff like that. You could do the next slide. So yeah, GitHub, Stack Overflow. Hey, one second. All right, sorry about that. Networking. So WWDC, that just happened recently, about 2 weeks ago. Every year in June, I believe, they have the WWDC Apple Worldwide Conference, and that showcases all the new software that will be available and is available to developers. So new Swift 6 was announced there. They have new vision technologies, new stuff relating to AR and VR. So all the new stuff comes out at Apple WWDC, and it is a great resource to learn all the newest stuff. And you can go back in time and learn all the older stuff that they have released that is still cutting edge. And GitHub and Stack Overflow are a great way to, I save all of my code to GitHub. It's kind of a great way to showcase your work and to store your work in case something happens to your computer. And Stack Overflow is a great way to look for different problems that you may come across in programming. And so a lot of times with programming, it's not about how much you know, it's about how well you can solve the next problem. And so learning how to use all these resources like Stack Overflow, Google, GitHub, even Reddit or YouTube, whatever you can find to just figure out the right solution for your problem, that is what most of programming is, to me at least. You could do the next slide. Future. So wearables and sustainability. So low energy apps that consume less power, optimized for, we're going to talk about how to optimize your code so it's not running endless CPU cycles, or if you forget, let's say you turn on the camera for AR and forget to shut it off, it could be running in the background and that'll be burning up your app and battery. And continued growth into wearables. More and more people are starting to get the glasses and the Apple Watches and all sorts of stuff like that. Once we get to the end of the mobile development section, we can look into if you want your first app to be a wearable when we do our personal projects near the end of the course. You could do the next slide. In conclusion, iOS development in 2024 is a vibrant and challenging field. Developers need to stay abreast of technological advancements, market trends, and regulatory changes to succeed. With the right tools and knowledge, there are ample opportunities to create innovative and impactful applications. And my own comments on this, just like any field, it's going to have its ups and downs. You guys are getting in at a really different time. It is one of the down times for software development. However, it always comes back. And if you guys get great during these next 6 months, right as the market's coming back, especially in the US, you guys are going to be hitting it perfect timing. Just know that if you become the best app developer you can, there is going to be someone who needs you to build them an app or work at Google or to work at Meta or wherever your goals are. Next slide. The average iOS developer salary in the United States is going to be $120,000 per year. That's about right. It's going to be a little lower if you're in the different states versus if you're in a high cost area like San Francisco or something. But that's the average pay in the United States. So that's what you guys can expect to earn once you get up to becoming an average developer. You guys will most likely start on the lower end, and within 2 years of getting hired, you will get up to that pay. That's my opinion, at least. Yeah, you could do next slide. Do you want me to do this one, Maria, or do you want to do this one?
So yes, this is our timeline. So as we said, like the course is 6 months and we have internship. And also you see here that our lessons are live. Just maybe any questions about iOS because we just talked briefly. So maybe Vylon, you will say about Swift UI as language and why it's better, for example, if we choose between JavaScript or Java, is the Swift UI, why Swift UI will be better to choose for learning?
I think Swift is going to be the best thing for learning. Swift UI is good, but for more for more versatility as a programmer, we're going to focus mainly on regular Swift, just because it's been around a lot longer. It's object-oriented programming. It's not declarative programming, which is a much smaller subset of programming. But once you fully are, I would say, quote unquote, fluent in Swift, once you're dreaming about it, once you're thinking about it, once you're looking at different code and trying to translate it to Swift in your mind, then we're going to dive into Swift UI. And also, once you understand Swift, you're going to be able to learn Python. You're going to be able to learn JavaScript. You're going to be able to learn Rust, whatever type of language you want to learn as well. Swift is a great first language to master because since it is so recent, 10 years old, it has taken the best parts of all the previous languages up into that point and mixed them into one language. So as a result, there's a little bit from C, there's a little bit from C sharp, there's a little bit from even assembly, like old stuff. They try to take the best parts of each language and make them into one language. And that's why I think that Swift is one of the best languages to learn, especially as a first learning language.
Thank you. And what tools are necessary to start developing for iOS, and what tools we will learn from our course?
So the main tool is going to be your mind, you versus you. You're going to have to get in the right mindset. You're going to have to dedicate a lot of time. You're going to struggle for a little bit in the beginning. The best tool is going to be perseverance. It's going to be a mindset that you can do this and you will do this. That's going to be your best friend. And just to understand that, especially with software development, there's a lot of swings in confidence and in, I wouldn't say output, but in self-confidence and stuff. So you're going to go from thinking you're the dumbest programmer in the world if you're stuck on a problem for a couple hours, and then right when you figure it out, as you definitely will eventually figure it out, you will change to thinking, oh, I'm the smartest guy ever. So there's a lot of that in programming, and just being prepared to learn. It's not going to be just these 3-hour classes. When I learned, I went to a boot camp as well in 2016. It was not only the classes, but it was the 8 hours after the class that I put into it. It was the getting into a group chat with my friends and sharing different things that we all liked, creating a small community. I still have that same group chat that me and my friends did 8 years ago. I should say it was 2016. But so just immersing yourself with code is going to be the best thing to do
Okay, thank you.
to learn.
We also one question from chat. What is object-oriented programming?
It is a type of programming where you are creating a bunch of different, well, it's just this is invisible. You're creating a bunch of different objects and you're telling them how to interact with each other. So you will make, let's just say you're making a bottle object or a soda. So you're going to make the bottle, you're going to make the soda object, and you're going to put the soda inside the bottle to make the Dr. Pepper object. And so that is going to be translated into code. So you'll have maybe a view, something where you can see what the code is, as in like a movie playing. You're going to have different, let's say you're trying to create YouTube. So you're going to have different objects that store all the different videos. So you might have a video object, you might have a scroll object to scroll through the videos, text objects to show you the titles. So object-oriented programming is creating a lot of different objects and telling them how they're going to interact with each other. It's a different type. It's a couple different types of programming, main programming languages at least.
Thank you. Also, one question, can I attend this class with a Microsoft laptop or do I specifically need a MacBook?
That's a great question. See if you can download Xcode for Microsoft. I believe there might have been a recent update in WWDC. I could check right now. That is allowing for Microsoft development for Apple applications.
I guess that it's better to have an Apple, like MacBook.
Best to have an Apple, or you can have a Linux. I don't really know if Microsoft will work with it.
Yeah, so there is, since I'm on Windows and Xcode isn't available for Windows and Swift Playground isn't either, how would I go about lessons? So I guess that to attend our iOS developer course, you should have MacBook and Apple. Yes.
Yeah. For my Mac development, I got the cheapest one at the time. It's called a Mac Mini. So it's like $700, but then you could plug it into any, like I'm using the Logitech. You can plug it in. I still use the Mac Mini, but there's cheaper ways to, you could get a used one on like Craigslist or from your local Apple store. But yeah, any Mac product, something running Mac OS will work.
Thank you. Follow-up question, are we going to learn object-oriented programming? Thank you.
Yes, we're gonna learn object-oriented programming. Swift's predecessor was called Objective-C because it was object-oriented programming language, which turned into Swift. So yeah, Swift is an object-oriented programming language.
Okay. Thank you for answering my question. For those on a budget like me, there is used MacBooks available on back market app for like, okay, yes. So also advices in chat. Thank you. So one more question about the iOS developer. We know that in other projects where like JavaScript developer, there are testers who make testing if there are no bugs. What about iOS? Who makes testing in, for example, iOS developer may create the app, and what about testing?
Oh, so how would a test work for an iOS developer?
Yeah.
Is that the question? So there's a resource, it's called Leet code, Leet code, that all the big boys, all the big companies work. All the big companies like Apple, Meta, SpaceX even, when you go into test, they're gonna almost all of them use examples from LeetCode, and Swift is one of those cross-platform languages that any question they give you, you can answer it in Swift if you would like, or you can answer it in JavaScript, or you can answer in Python. So they'll give you the option when you show up to code for them.
And one more question about future of the profession, iOS developer. How will iOS development evolve in the coming years?
I think it's gonna be just, I really don't know. I'm not a fortune teller. I hope that there used to be a tax write-off for software developers from 1960 till about 2023. Something changed. They stopped that. So all the startups that were happening were able to write off their developers as a tax write-off. I'm hoping that changes, because then all the startups will hire a lot more iOS developers and just different mobile developers and programmers as a tax write-off. And right now the interest rates are really low, so no one's really starting new startups. But the market is bound to get back to some sort of average as it's been in the past 10 years. So I think right now is 6 months ago was the lowest point for all software developers, and right now it's the curve back up. So it's rebounding right now, in my opinion.
Thank you. So a lot of questions in our chat. As a beginner, can I make it? Yeah, we develop our course from scratch and we start learning from basics. So everyone in our course will be beginner. The next, Swift is a cross-platform programming language with support for Linux, Android, and Windows. I'm in the USA. Do you have in-person classes? No, our classes all are online, and it's okay because for your future job, you will work, for example, partly remote or fully remote. So you can, so you should start to use Zoom to make meetings online in Zoom with your team. So it's okay to start learning online just to be ready to work then online with all these Zoom and Slack tools. The next question is, right now I'm in Mac OS developer beta. My question is, which Xcode version you would suggest me to download, the App Store version, or you want me to download from the Apple developer website? Wylan?
I would download 15.4. I think that's the one I'm using. The most recent stable one, as long as it doesn't say beta next to it, you do that one.
Maybe you can send link to our chat. So
yeah, well, the one through the App Store is going to give you the most recent one, but I will send the link as well after.
Thank you. And the question is, I'm ready I'm already familiar with some C#, JavaScript, and Python. Are any of those going to help me with this programming language in terms of knowledge carrying over, or is this completely different? You know, guys, if you are familiar already with some coding languages, it's your background, and of course, it will help. Violet, what would you say?
I 100% agree. All the main data types like integers, double, bool, string, those are across all major software languages. So yeah, the more the more you learn, the more you'll know, whether it's whatever programming languages you're trying to learn. It'll help with all the rest of them.
Okay. What is the minimum specs for, say, a Mac Mini? Did you understand?
Honestly, yeah, they're all so fast that for what we're doing, you can get the lowest, cheapest option and it'll be fine. It'll be fine. They're all really good now, especially if it's a Mac Mini.
Thank you. And one more question. What skills will be in demand in the future for the profession of iOS developer?
Um, what skills will be in demand?
Mm,
Just the main skills would be taking an app from what they give you to completion. So I think more app developers in the future are more gonna be able to handle the design part of it as well as the programming side of it. They're gonna know how to use AI because you can have AI draw up most of the designs for you and then edit them the colors a little bit how you would like. So learning how to use AI is definitely gonna help you in the near future when it comes to app development, especially iOS and any mobile development. That is.
so there is a question about the monthly payment. I will answer it because I will share the screen again and we will have the payment options in the slide. Will I get an opportunity to learn React for UI development for the app? It's highly in demand. React for UI will learn on our other course. It's full stack developer. It's today we are talking about iOS developers. And I know that we don't have React, right?
Yeah, we're not. This isn't a React course.
Mm.
React is a different type of programming languages. It's its own thing. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Who are going to be teaching the course? It will be Vylon. Here's here with us today. And the second teacher you're gonna meet, Dan. Okay. Thank you for your questions. So now I will, if you will have another questions, please write us and we will answer. And here I will share the screen and tell you a bit about the course and the syllabus. And also, if you will have any organization questions, please. So here we are. So here you see our schedule. Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, 6 p.m. Pacific time. The duration of the lesson is 1 or 1.5 hours. So you can print screen this slide so you will have the curriculum. Here you can see training program. Please, Vylon, give your comments here.
So history of Swift and iOS development, classes and structures, data types like we just talked about, functions and closers, native libraries, UI kit foundation. There's a lot of native libraries we're going to learn. Storyboards, Swift UI view controller, UI view, that is part of UI kit, RESTful APIs, JSON data. All this stuff on here, everything on this sounds like a lot, but you will get to learn all of this stuff and This is all you need to learn how to be an iOS developer. So, and a lot of this stuff is cross-platform and cross-language learnable. So if you learn about model view controller, which is in the top next to object-oriented programming, that is a very common programming style that we will get into that is the same for Android. It is the same for even web apps and stuff like that. Xcode optionals, we'll get into that. Threading, async, ARKit, and Vision, we'll get into that at the end. And the history, we'll get into the history and stuff like that on the first day of class. So all this stuff is really good stuff.
Okay, thank you. And about the payment, here you see the price for the course. And this price is for if you have one-time payment, and you can like log the discount by taking this QR code and paying $49. So you will have this price with not five, like 4,999. And here are like, let's go back for everyone who need to use, please, you take your time. And moving on, the course starts on August 13 and it lasts for 6 months, as we said, 4 times per week. Our classes are online on Zoom, but if you can't attend the class, it's okay. You have the opportunity to watch the recording. And also you will have the opportunity, for example, if you missed a lot of classes, so you can join the course again online with the new group. So in 6 months, we'll start the new group and you can join it for free online, just in case if something happened and you couldn't end the course with your group. So we also will have HR recruiter who will work with you and to prepare you for the interviews. You will train mock interview all the behavior questions and soft skills, because it's really important to know the answers for the questions like, tell me about yourself, what is your weaknesses, why did you left your last job, and so on. So also we will prepare your CV. We will give the feedback about your CV. So it's gonna work. And about the experience, it's about our internship that you're gonna do after the 6 months course, and then you will put your project on your CV as your experience. So you will have 2 projects, and when you will have background check, like we will give you all the references number, so they can phone and ask if you have really worked with us, and we will say yes. Also, yes, we will prepare you for the technical interview. During internship, you also will have classes with mentor to prepare for the technical interview, and classes with the recruiter to prepare for the behavioral interview. So let's move to the QR. So, and also if you pay like monthly, you can make payment in 3 months. So it will be $5,499. It will be in 3 months. But if you want to make instant payment, you can, the price is like 4,999. Okay. Again, if there are any questions about the syllabus, about the, I don't know, about the course, how it goes, Also, I guess that you have our email. And if you have any questions, you can write us email, so the manager will contact you and answer all your questions about the iOS developer and about the career in iOS developer. Okay, is this first cohort violent?
Yes.
Yes. Can you answer the last question
Let me see.
in chat?
Is this the first cohort? This is the very first cohort for
Mhm.
PATS.
So is the internship concurrent with the course, and or is it after the classes are complete? It's after 6 months. So 6 months classes and then goes internship. And you can participate in internship how, like, it's no limits, how long you want, for how long you want. Yes. Can please tell us about your achievements, career path? Thank you. Thank you, Chinar, for your question. Violan, please tell us, share with us your career achievements, and maybe you can also talk about your own apps that you created, about your own
So
project.
yes, I started a very young age, or not very young. I guess I was 18. I did a 2-year internship for a company called Merge Mobile. And there, this was before I wanted to learn how to do programming. I was just there helping with level development, helping organize files, kind of just doing grunt work. But there I saw how successful app companies would bring their ideas from conception, map it out on a board, and bring it to completion. So then after that, I did go to a boot camp. It was a 6-month boot camp in Utah. And there we learned pretty much the exact same course that we are providing here at PAS. After that, probably took 3 months after graduation to get a job as a lead iOS developer in Los Angeles. I'm from Orange County, so I'm very close to Los Angeles. I worked there for 2 or 3 years. We made a banking app called Rigo Payment Architectures for a parent company called Oink, which sounds funny. After that, I kind of took a break from software development. I worked at a startup and I just out doing 60 hours a week for maybe 2 or 3 years. And then at the end of COVID, I decided to get back into software development, started my own small company. I don't know if you guys have seen Alien, but there's a company called Wyland Corporation. So I just kind of be funny. I called my company Wyland Corporation. And now I build contracts for smaller companies that just would like their app being developed. I'm building one right now called Lux Markets for a company called Lux Markets, Luxury Markets. And also I do my own smaller apps as well that are doing all right. One's called Know Your Notes. Another one is Sober Today. And I'm working on an AR app right now. Maybe I can turn the camera around, you guys can see. Oh, I guess you can't see right now, but I'm working on my own AR app right now that will be released probably by the time this has been finished. But yeah, I'll show you guys during the class. I'm very proud of it. So yeah, iOS development will take you wherever you want to go. If you guys want to go the corporate route, work for a big company like Google, if you guys want to start your own smaller company making apps and being able to teach on the side and do kind of what I work from home now. iOS and almost all software development gives you the freedom to kind of choose your own path as long as you stick with it. It's not easy. It takes a lot of hard work and a lot of dedication.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Also, there was a question about internship, and I just wanted to mention that internship is unpaid, and it is for you to get experience working in real project with team, and to like make cases for your portfolio. Also about the internship, that you can participate like in like you can, how we work, there are tickets, so you take the ticket and you complete the task when you can, like you work on this task the time you can, but you just have a deadline but which the ticket must be done. That's how we work. Okay, YouTube link, please. One moment. I will find it and send in chat. And can I have this class mail to me? So you mean the recording of the class? Yes, of course. We will send the email. Please check spam folder. So thanks everyone for your question. And we will wait you tomorrow on our practical lesson. Where is it coming from? Where is it coming from? What coming? The email address, so I can find it. Okay. Okay. The email address. Maybe I can send you.
I
Okay.
have that same problem. My email is flooded. I understand what he's his questions.
Yeah, one moment. We will do it. Okay, so guys, tomorrow at 6 p.m. We will code in Xcode. So those one who have downloaded, just open and try to move on with us. For those one who has Windows or doesn't download it in code, Xcode, it's okay. You just you can watch, ask questions, and see how it's from inside. Yeah, the work of iOS developer from inside. Also on our course, you will also create your own small app, and you will think about what is more interesting for you, and then you will choose and create your own app. So yes, which email? It will be the email, that one, okay? And YouTube, please, guys, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask us. Right now, I'm sending our YouTube. Okay, very fine. Here it is. So, you will create tomorrow. You will just, it will be coding class. What we will do tomorrow, Violen?
Yeah, we're gonna build a small application on Xcode. So I'm still thinking of exactly what would be a good app to build.
Okay, thank you. So till tomorrow, thank you everyone for participating and staying with us till the end. 6 p.m. Pacific time, 20 July. Have a like. I hope you enjoyed the class. Until tomorrow. Thank you, Violet, for the lesson. Thanks.
Thank you guys. I will see you tomorrow. Have a great
Yes.
day.
Yeah, have a good day. Bye.